Hey, good morning, good morning. This is Lulu, Queen of Hustles. I ask that you like, subscribe, share, and comment. And I would definitely appreciate that. It is a nasty, nasty rainy day. You caught me doing one of my many hustles. Y'all know it take a lot. So anyway, this is me driving the big yellow bird today, and we're doing a field trip. And it is raining. It's quite nasty out here. And I wanted to talk to you briefly. We're going to talk about insurance because school is coming to an end. And there's no tears shed. No tears shed. Anywho, but I'm down here in Central Texas and I'm doing a field trip. And again, I ask that you like, subscribe, share, and comment. I want to talk right quick about, we all know you need to have insurance. This hat is kind of bent. But let's talk about, a lot of times when you do insurance, y'all know I don't edit nothing, but I can see my head look kind of bent. So, we just work with it. I don't edit nothing. Ain't no need to edit nothing because ain't nothing perfect. So anyway, when you're doing insurance, it's not a question, do you need it? You know you need life insurance. We all know you need life insurance. But the thing is, you can use insurance for a lot of different things. You can do term insurance, you can do whole life. That's when you can kind of build a little bit. You can do index, universal life. It's kind of how you kind of, building a little bit also with that, but just it's a little different than typical whole life. But your thing is, whatever you choose with insurance, you need to think about, why are you needing the insurance? Easy question, easy answer would be, to bury me. But really and truly, you need to think about your why. Do you have children? Do you have nieces and nephews? Did you just buy a huge house, or you got a house maybe 200,000, 400,000? Let's talk about it. 500,000, and you actually like your spouse. You actually love your spouse, and you want to make sure that they're okay. You could be a single parent. You don't have to have a spouse. It could be, you could have small children. And do you want the children to be able to have the home? Or do you just want them to be able to have a cushion when they turn 18? Like, just to give them a new start, just to give them that extra start in life, like where they can buy a car. They can at least start their first year of college. They can get an apartment, whatever they're trying to do. You got to think about your why. We all say, you need insurance, but a lot of times you just need to really figure out your why. Don't just get it to get it. It's good to have it, but no, why are you really getting it? Yeah, true enough to bury you, but life insurance is really for the people that are left. And I always say you'd rather have a little something than nothing. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, prime example could be like, if you're doing some overtime or whatever at work and your check was short. Let's say they owed you $150, but it was 75, and they still owe you that 75. More than likely, you're not giving that 75 back. You're going to keep that 75 and wait for them to take the other 75 and put it on your other 2-week check. So, that being said, something is better than nothing. You understand? Something is better than nothing. I am licensed to sell life insurance in Texas, Louisiana, and Nevada. It's not a problem getting licensed in your state, because, YouTube goes all over. As long as you're in the United States, in the United States, it goes all over. But the thing is, what is your why? Why are you doing it? You have to look around. Sometimes, especially if you are married, if it's raining out here, so I'm just kind of looking around. I'm on the old big yellow bird. It's one of my many hustles. Next to notary too. And then I start doing my candles kind of close to fall. I don't really like to do the candles this time of the year. Just kind of, I don't know. It just don't ever sit well with me. I just personally like to do them more when the weather has kind of changed. It just, I don't know, it just always feels real warm and cozy. I really don't care to make them in the summertime, but that's just one of my other streams. So anyway, random, very random. But back to why. Take, for especially for the people that do not have it, have insurance. And a lot of times, especially if you don't live by yourself, you have children, you have a spouse, you have a partner, you have a lover, maybe no kids, you and your mom and your sisters, all y'all live together, you and your dad and all your brothers. Sometimes you just got to walk around. Just walk around your house, especially if you have family. And think, especially if you like your family. You can have family and not like your family. You can have family and not get along with your family. But if you genuinely care about your family, picture how would they feel if you were no longer here. You already know how they're going to feel. Especially if you love them, genuinely love them and care about them. You know they're going to be hurt. You know they're going to be devastated. My grandmother used to always have a saying, money always soothes the soul. My grandmother used to always say that. And, I have lived to really learn and appreciate a lot of Charlesetta-isms. That was my grandmother. Her name was Charlesetta. And I've really learned to really appreciate a lot of the nuggets that she would drop. Not really understanding at that time because you're so young, and she had, oh my God, so many sayings. But she used to always say, money always soothes the soul. She used to always say that. That being said, if you, God forbid, tragically, sickness, whatever, but we all got a day at a time. Let's talk about it. We all know. I ask that you like, subscribe, share, and comment. But God forbid, when it is your time and that person that you love, that you genuinely care about, imagine them first, how they gonna be feeling. They're not gonna be feeling good, and they're not. But don't you think it would lighten a little of that pain and a little bit of that load and that sadness to know, man, he thought enough of me. Man, she thought enough of me. My dad thought enough of me. My mama thought enough of me. My sister thought enough of me. My cousin thought enough of me. This is keep it 100. To have something in place. A lot of times people will say, oh, I can't afford it and this and this and that, but you can afford it. You'd rather have something than nothing. If you have a big family, if you have a huge mortgage, but at this time, because a lot of things are going on with the economy right now, we all know this. And if you cannot afford it, something is better than nothing. Work where you at. Like I tell people, work with your budget. I ain't trying to break the bank. Don't want you to break the bank. If you can afford $100,000 policy, you get that. You can do 50, you get that. You can do 40, you get that. You can get 20, you get that. If it's got to be 10, get that. And then as things progress, as you start paying some debts off, you start maybe being in a better financial situation, things just get better and your load get a little lighter. But you're looking around, you got 6 kids. I'm just saying, we got to be realistic about some things. Then you can start saying, okay, let me go ahead and increase that. Something is better than nothing. Like I used the analogy, they owe you 150 from your job. They only put 75 on your check. You ain't going back in there and giving that 75. You don't keep that 75 because something is better than nothing. It was a better than a zero. And that's where you start. So the question, do you need insurance? Absolutely. You need it. You need some. You need some. But the thing is why? Just sit down sometime and think about, well, why am I really doing this? How do I want my husband to feel after I'm gone? How do I want my sister to feel? How do I want my children? If you truly love them, then you got some people don't care. It's like, hey, that's between you and God. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Because there's some people, I ain't leaving them nothing. That's not my fight. That's not my fight. That's between you and God. But for the ones that genuinely care, or you don't even have to talk to your family, but you just don't want to stick them out, You don't want them begging. You don't want them going on the book of faces, begging and pleading, especially if you was a styling profile and they were like, what? They didn't have no insurance? Because I mean, you dead and gone, but still, that's not a good look. That's not a good look, at all. So anyway, the thing is today with insurance, do you need it? Absolutely. Stay in your lane. Get what you can afford. You know what you can afford. Then work your way up. Because that's travesty in its own. To get some, oh yeah, I want to get $1 million policy. I want to get $300,000, but you really can't. It's a stretch to pay for that type of policy. Don't put yourself in that situation. Stay in your own lane. You rather have a little something and work up than have something too much and then you can't hold it and you cannot maintain it. Then you going back to the bottom. And then to keep in mind, what type do you want? Term? Do you want whole life? Whole life will build. It takes about like they say, maybe 2.5 to 3 years before you can borrow against it. It takes a while. You do have to invest in that. Term is just term. It can last a long time, but you got to remember that it does fluctuate. With the whole life, you can lock in at that rate. Lock in. And that's what I tell a lot of people with my kids. Get them kids on whole life if you can. Because when they're young, you can get them a policy, 7 or 8. And if they still paying for a child when they're 50 years old or whatever, it'll be still that rate, that super, super low rate, or they came in at 20 and got it. And now they're 40. Now they got complications. Now they got whatever, God forbid, they got cancer, just keep it at 100. But they're still locked in for that rate when they was 20 years old. So the question of the day is not, do you need insurance? Oh yeah, you need it. We all need it. We all need it, but we all don't have it. But the thing is to know, what is your why? Why are you getting this policy? And like a lot of times, look around. Look in your phone. Just scroll through your phone. That's your why. Especially if you have a big family, especially if you have some people you would genuinely be, concerned about. And their financial situation with making arrangements, because there's nothing no worse than to be crying and sad about losing your loved one, but at the end of the day, they handing you a Kleenex, but it's a business, and they got we so sorry for your loss. We so sorry, but we need to know, do you have an insurance policy? I understand, ma'am. I'm so sorry. They're gonna let you cry. They're gonna let you shed them little tears. They're gonna hand you that tissue. But in the meantime, between time, they gonna get to business, because it's a business. Now here you are, you sad, you're hurt, kind of lost. But now we're gonna add the money part to it. You already know when your money funny, you already know how you feel. Imagine how they gonna feel. So a lot of times, like I said, sometimes you just need to walk around. Just look through your phone. Look through your phone today. That's your why. Don't break your bank. Don't break the budget. Get what you can afford. Stay in your own lane. That's why I can't say it enough. Because you rather have a little something. Yeah, I'm driving Big Bird today. I just dropped my cheering off. And I'm going to be doing some insurance stuff. I got to do some trainings. Got to do some notary stuff, because I'm a notary. I'm getting back into that too. And signing up for different notary platforms, because I'm a loan signing agent. That do like when you're doing refinancing, settlements, divorces, things like that. Typically with the loans, they have to have an agent, a notary public, to come out and do your documents. That just saves that company time, but that's a whole nother video for a different day. But anyway, this video is about your why. Why do you really need the insurance? You know you need it. And the thing is, it's cool with your job. But sometimes, if you leave your job, then there you go, out the door. So you got to start all over. So it's always good to have your little buffer somewhere. It doesn't hurt. It can't hurt at all. But anyway, that's my time. Once again, I am Lulu with Queen of Hustles. I ask that you like, subscribe, share, and comment. And like I said, what I'll do, I did not say this, but this is free. It's a free quote. It costs absolutely nothing. It's free 99. I'll type your information in. You give me your budget. I need to know your why, because I'm going to ask you, why are you doing this? I'm going to ask you that. Why are you doing this? and we'll go from there just to assess your needs. Is it your children? Do you have a new home? What is it? Why are you really wanting to do this? Who do you want to protect? Who do you want to protect after you have ascended? Who do you want to protect? Okay, so that's my time. It is really, really raining here. Not sure if it's raining where you at, but if it is, random, I ask that you be safe, okay? And that's my time. Peace.